Hello guys, my name is Kaushik and welcome back to Lambda Test. In this video, we are going to learn how to launch the Chromium browser using Playwright. Then we are going to write a simple login script just to show the demonstration. And then we are going to learn how to execute the test. And also we are going to learn the important concept of Playwright, that is context and a new page, and how we can make use of that. Let's get started now. So in a previous video, we have done the installation with the help of Playwright um, um, VS Code extension, right? So here we have installed this VS Code installation, and then followed by, it was really easy, right? So when we do the installation, we know that we got the test folder. Within that we have example.spec.ts, right? As of now, I'm going to delete this because we are not going to focus on that. And also we got this configuration file. Within that we have a lot of things, right? I'm going to delete everything except this default thing. Okay, so here I'm going to remove everything. Okay, so what we have here is basically like an import statement with Playwright test config that we have to use, and then we are just exporting this like as a config. So this is basically like your global configuration. You just write it once and that will be take care of all your codes, test code. Okay, so we'll come back to this in a moment. Let's go to our test folder. Within that, I'm going to create a new file called login.test.ts. Okay, so login is my test name, file name, and .test is just an extension. Like you can make it like spec or the test, and then followed by .ts, that is the file extension. So of course we are using TypeScript, so it will be ts. Okay, now we are going to learn the very basic concept like how to launch the browser. Okay, so before that, first of all we have to get a test block. So what is test block in the sense like if you know the WebDriver IO or protector or any JavaScript based framework, probably we have some test runner, right? So we have the Jasmine, we have the Mocha, right? Similarly, in Playwright, we have an inbuilt test runner that is known as Playwright test runner. So if I take the Jasmine or the Mocha, we have a describe block. Within that, we have a it block, right? So similar thing here also in Playwright. So first of all, we'll use the test block, and then of course we have to do the import. We will do that in a moment. And here I'm going to say like login test demo, something like that, and then followed by the callback. Okay, and out of the box, Playwright supports the async and await to handle the promises. So we don't have to write like then and catch, the typical way of writing in JavaScript, but we are going to handle with the help of async and await, and that is also recommended. So here I'm going to make this callback as a async. Now of course we have to import this test, so let's do that. So here I'm going to say like import and then followed by test, and that's going to come from my @playwright/test. Okay, so now we don't have any compile time error here. Now let's see how to launch the browser. So here I'm going to say like await, then followed by Chromium .launch. Okay, so what does it means in the sense like Chromium.launch, in the sense it will give us a browser instance. Okay, so here I'm going to store that as a browser. Okay, now here I'm going to say like await browser dot new context. Okay, I will come back to this like what is new context, and one more thing is like let me finish it off. Okay, so new context in the sense like it's going to give us a new browser context. So here I'm going to say like context, and then followed by using the context I'm going to say like new page. So let's use the await, and I'm going to save this as a page here. Okay, now let me explain. So here Chromium dot launch in the sense like we are going to launch the Chromium browser. So already we discussed in the previous video like what is Chromium, what is WebKit, right? So Chromium is basically a browser engine. For example, here I have this Google Chrome browser, right? This browser is built on top of the Chromium engine, or also we can say like with the help of Chromium engine API, this browser has been built. Similarly, we have Brave browser, or we can also say the recently launched Microsoft Edge browser, which is also built on top of Chromium. Okay, now here we are using new context. What is context in the sense like based on the Chromium browser that we launched, there we are going to use a new context. So context is basically used like we can have multiple context and multiple page at the same time. So Playwright supports like multiple context and multiple page. That means one context will not share its cookies or cache to another context, whereas new page in the sense like it is basically your new tab. Okay, so within one browser we can have multiple tabs, right? So here we are using one tab, that is like your default new tab. Okay, now this is how we have to launch the Chromium browser. We'll talk about this new context and the new page more in a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to launch the URL. So for our test demonstration, we are going to use this beautiful Lambda test playground. Like it's kind of like a e-commerce website, so you can make use of it. Okay, so this is my URL. So I'm going to copy that, and here I'm going to say await page dot go to, and here we are going to give the URL, and make sure for each and every step we are going to use the await keyword, or else it will be really miss. If you know the JavaScript and the TypeScript, and if you have a basic knowledge about the promises, then you know that like if you don't handle the promises, it will be really a mess. Okay, in some places we don't have to use the await keyword. I will tell you that also, like when we should not use it, but mostly 90% of the time, or else 95% of the time, we are going to use the await keyword here. Okay, like before each and every line. And semicolon is not necessary. If you want, you can put, or else you can just ignore that. TypeScript thing, you know, right? Yeah. So once we launch the application, then we are going to click on this my account. Not click, actually we are going to do the mouse hover. Okay, then we are going to click on this login link here. Once that is clicked, then we are going to enter our email address and the password, and then I'm going to click on the login, and that's it for this video. But watch it fully, we have a lot more to learn. Okay, so let's go and see how to do it. So first of all, we are going to right click and inspect, and we're going to find this particular element. Okay, so here I can see like it is within the span tag. So let's go and copy this guy and paste. So here I can see like we already have three things. Okay, so three, my account text is there, so I cannot use the direct locator text. That means if you go to the Playwright official website, that is playwright.dev, and if you go to this document section, and if you come down to the guides, then if you come down here, you can see something like selectors. Click on that, and here you can see like there is a wide variety of selectors. Like in Selenium we have something like 8, I remember, but in Playwright we have lot of things. Okay, so of course the basic things like id, css, the XPath, and link text, all those stuff are here. But apart from that, we have a lot of things. We'll learn one by one in our upcoming videos. Definitely a single video will not be enough to learn all the locators in Playwright. It is just like your cheat sheet, I can say. You can go to this particular link and you can learn yourself, because there are a lot of things to learn, and the documentation is really good, so you can make use of it. Okay, now coming back to our text selector. So if you go here, you can see text selector. That means like if we have a text like something like link text or a button text or whatever it is, you can just simply say like text equal to login. But this will always try to interact with the first element. But in our case here, if you see, this my account text is basically in three places. Okay, so it is in three places. So it will try to interact with the first one, which is invisible or hidden in this page. And if I click next, you can see like this is our second. So of course the direct locator will not work, so I'm going to write a XPath for this. Okay, so I'll be writing very quickly, because obviously I know you already know the XPath, so I'm not going to waste time on that. Okay, so this is the XPath. We are navigating from the A to the span, where it has a text called my account, and it's one of one. Of course, it's a correct one. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, and here I'm going to say like await page dot, and then we are going to do the hover, right? So we'll just call the function called hover. If you see in Selenium, of course, we have to call the select, I mean action constructor, then we have to say like mouse over, all the stuff, right? But it's Playwright, it's very easy. If you want to do hover, just call the function called hover, which is mouse hovering. Okay, and here I'm going to pass my XPath, and of course it's await. Okay, and here you can see, if you see like here we are saying double slash then followed by a. So the signature of XPath is like it starts with double slash, the relative XPath, right? So here you have to just say double slash, I mean the XPath itself. You don't have to say like XPath equal to, you can say, but that is not required. Or like in Selenium we have a lot of functions, right? Find element, by.xpath, by.link text, all the stuff, right? In Playwright it's just one, like you find the locator, and in the runtime it will understand like whether it's a CSS, it's a ID, or it's a XPath. Okay, so that easy it is. Now what we are going to do is we are going to click on the login text, right? So here I'm going to say like login, I mean page.click, and here I have to give the locator of this one. Okay, so here you can see like I have a text called to login. I'm going to copy and paste, and basically it is actually only one. Yeah, so just to verify, I'm going to use the letText path, and here I can say like normalize text equal to login. That means this text is actually unique in this one, so it should work actually. Okay, so we are not going to write this XPath, rather we are going to use the direct locator from the Playwright. Okay, so let's see how to do that. So here I'm going to say like text equals and then followed by login. Okay, and if you noticed here we have a space, right? In the front and in the back we have a space, but when we are going to use the text as a locator, then we should always trim. Okay, so here it is we just login. Now so far fine, let's see whether we are able to navigate to the login page or not. Okay, so let's see how to run this now. Okay, so if I go to my config file, playwright.config file, and within this option I'm going to say like within this object I'm going to say like test match. That means it accepts an array. We can run single or multiple file. In our case it's just a one file, so I will say like login.test.ts. okay, so we have to specify the file name, or else also we can specify the folder then followed by the file name. Okay, now let's go back to the login test. So seems good to me. Now let's go and bring out terminal using Control J. And if you are using VS Code for the first time, by default it will be in the like PowerShell or maybe in the command prompt. I will recommend to switch to the Git Bash because it's very handy actually. Okay, so here I'm going to say like npx then followed by playwright then followed by test. So okay, so this is the command to run. Okay, so here you can see we are not using npm. npm in the sense like node package manager, that is used to download all the packages from the dependencies that we are going to mention in the package.json. Whereas npx in the sense like x is like executable, so we are going to execute those downloaded packages or the dependencies. So here I'm going to say npm npx playwright test. Now let's give the enter. Let's see. And it says no test found. Let's go to the config file, and here login.test.ts. That is fine. Okay, I should use this. Okay, the folder name is test, not test. So here I have missed the S. So that is why we are getting like no test found. So I'm going to give Control L to clear the terminal, and I'm going to execute the command once again. Let's see. Okay, so here you can see like running one test using one worker, but if you see my taskbar, there is no browser, right? Because Playwright by default it executes in the headless mode, and we got the result as passed, but of course we want to see the browser as we are learning, right? So how to do it is very simple. So within the launch function, within we are going to use this object, and here we are going to say like headless, and then we are going to say like false. Okay, so that's it, very simple thing. Now let's go and run this one more time. Now we can see the browser and it launched the website. Then the mouse hover is going to yeah, it's done, and login is also done. Okay, it's very fast actually. So like we have only 3 steps and it took around like 11 seconds, and the steps are really fast. Okay, so far we are good. I want to show you one more trick or one more option as well. Like here we are saying text equal to login, right? I'm going to comment this, and then I'm going to say like instead of text equal to login, I'm going to use the short allies, like within the single quotes, within double quotes, again within single quotes, I'm going to say login. Okay, that means text equal to login, right? We can say like this as well, or else we know that this say text, so we can just include that within a single quotes. Okay, now let's go and run this one more time, and yeah, let's run this. So mouse over is done and login is also clicked. Okay, so that's it. Very, very simple. Now let's continue with the login script itself. So here we have to enter this email address and the password. All right. So let's go and inspect this one. So here we can see like we have a unique CSS called name equal to equal. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm skipping all this like how to write the CSS or the XPath because already like I believe that you already aware of CSS and the XPath, or else you can check Lambda test channel to learn more about it. Okay, so in this tutorial we are going to focus more on the Playwright library, not the XPath or CSS. So I'm going to copy this unique name, and here I'm going to say like we want to enter a data, right? So here I will say like await page dot, and then followed by we have a function called fill. Okay, and here I'm going to give the locator first. Okay, so first argument is the locator, and the second argument is your actual test data. Okay, and here it's await. Okay, and my email address is this one, so I'm going to copy and paste over here, and then followed by we are going to enter the password as well, right? So here I'm going to say like let's go and inspect this one. So here we have a type equal to password or name equal to password. We can use anything. I'm going to click on the second one, and here I'm going to say like await page dot fill, and then followed by the locator and followed by the value. Okay, so here I'm going to say like pass 123, which is my password, I believe. Yeah, then we are going to click on this login. Okay, so if I go and inspect this one, so this is also a like input, and it has a like type equal to submit and value equal to login. So let's copy that, and here I'm going to select await page dot, and then followed by we are going to do the click action, right? So here we'll say like click, and we'll give the value. Okay, so that's it. Very simple. To type anything, we'll use the fill function. There is also a function called type. We'll talk about this in the next video, like difference between fill and the type. And if you want to do the click action, we have a function called click. And if you want to hover, just say like hover. So if you know Selenium, and if I have to compare this like driver.get, right? So that is similar like page.goto. In actions class, we have move to element, right? So same thing, it's like hover. And click is like same driver.click, I mean element.click, here page.click, and we have to pass the element within the click function. And fill is like your send keys, and click is of course the click. Okay, so that's it. Now let's go and run this. It will be really fast. Just to show you that it is logged in correctly, I'm going to add a sleep here, like consider let's see. So wait page dot wait for timeout, and I'm going to add like 5 seconds just to show you. Okay, and let's go and run. Okay, so await page dot wait for timeout, in the sense like you can consider this like thread.sleep in Java. Okay, okay, actually the test case passed, but actually it is failed because the data is wrong, I believe. Let's go and check it one more time. Okay, actually the password is wrong, so that's why it got failed. But you can see like here we are getting passed, because of course we do not have any kind of assertion now, but of course in upcoming videos we'll write that as well. Okay, so that is why we say like if your test doesn't have any assertion, then it's a useless, right? So you saw the example now. Even though we got the error message like username or password is wrong, but still our test says like pass. Okay, of course, because we do not have the assertion. Okay, that's a different story. We'll just try to execute this one more time, and let's see. So it's going to the website, and then it's going to the login. and then it's going to enter the email password, and already we are into the account, right? So you can see like uh, it got passed now, and of course we have logged in successfully, right? Now I believe you understood so far like what is all this stuff. Okay, now I want to show you the important concept, like this new page concept. Okay, so if I go to my application and if I do the login, so kaushik350@gmail.com, right? Now if I log in here, you can see like it says like edit your information, change your password, all those stuff are here, right? Now if I open the same link in another tab, and if your application, suppose the session and the cache, then definitely you'll see the same page, right? Because it's logged in. Now suppose if I log out and if I come back to this page and if I refresh, of course here also it's going to do the logout, right? So that is how session and the cache work, right? Now just to demonstrate that, let me give you this example. Okay, so here if you remember, I said like new context, in the sense like it will give us a new context where the cache and the sessions will not be carry forward, and new page is like a just a tab, right? So after this timeout, what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to this login URL directly. Okay, so here I'm going to say like await uh, context dot new page. So basically we are trying to create a new tab here. Okay, so let's name it like page 1 equals, and then I'm going to say await page 1 dot go to, and here I'm going to pass the URL. Okay, so if you go to this one, I'm going to pause the script for little more time to show you. So if I go to this particular login link again, of course we can see like the session is there and still we are logged in, right? Let's go and run this one more time. Watch carefully. So first tab, that is new page, and it's going to do the login, and it will wait for like 5 seconds. After that it will open a new tab here. Okay, here you can see it got a new tab, and of course all the session, the cache, everything is carry forward to this tab as well. But let's say that we have a scenario where we don't want to carry forward the session, right? So we are going to create a new context here. Okay, so I hope this one you understood, right? Now here I'm going to say like await, then browser dot new context, and this is going to give me a new context here. Okay, so I can say like new context. That means consider this context as a incognito, like everything is incognito, but you will get one more incognito mode. Okay, and from the new context we are going to create a new page. That's going to be my page 1. Now let me rename this like new page. Okay, and here I'm going to say like new page dot wait for timeout. Okay, now I'm going to run this. Let's see what happens. So what do you expect? Of course the new context, new page should not have the login informations, right? So this is my new page. It's going to do the login, of course, and here you can see login is successful. Now it's going to bring a new context, so it will be new browser, not a new tab, new browser. And here if you go here, you can select there is no session or the catch because it's a new context. Okay, so that is the beauty of Playwright if you want to do like something parallel. And the best part is like if you use this new page dot click, it will do that stuff in that particular context, and if you say like page dot click, it will do the stuff in that particular page. Okay, so like if you want to do something simultaneously, you can do it. Okay, so that's the best part of Playwright, and that's it. We are pretty much done for this now. So let me give you a quick recap. Okay, so how to launch the browser is very simple. We have to say like chromium.launch, and headless false in the sense like by default it will execute in the headless mode. That is like browser will be there, but there won't be any GUI. Okay, and here we have got the new context. From the context we got the new page, and using the page we'll say like go to navigate to a site, hover to do the mouse over, click to do the click, and fill is like your send keys, and wait for timeout like it's like thread.sleep. Of course we don't have to use it. uh, to show the demonstration I'm using this, but you don't have to use it unless if you want to wait for something. Okay, and this context and new page, of course you understood, I believe. So that's it. So that's it from my side. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comments. I will see you in the next one very soon. Tata, bye bye, take care.